The sun is just starting to set a little earlier. The nights are getting cooler and fall is right around the corner. And for many of us, these natural changes bring about a downturn in mood. In fact, as many as 25% of us are said to suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Natural health care expert Mark Mincola is here with the latest on natural strategies for keeping our mood elevated as we face these seasonal changes. Mark, I think I may be one of these people.
I think there's an awful lot of us that haven't been counted yet.
And why is that? Why does this season affect our mood?
Well, I think the way our brains work is we're genetically programmed after, thousands of years of blue sky exposure, bright, full-spectrum sun exposure. Now we're living indoors. Artificial light just doesn't affect our brains the same way.
Well, let's talk about what we can do to balance these levels out. Excuse me. What can we do?
Well, first of all, there's an awful lot of wonderful supplements out there that we can find over the counter from health food stores. Things like 5-HTP, things like GABA. These are really simple to purchase. Simple dosing on that would be 150 milligrams a day of 5-HTP, GABA 2,000 milligrams a day, theanine, which comes from, of course, green tea, 400 milligrams. There are light boxes as well, like the Sonilux light box, the Apollo Blue Wave boxes. Those are just a couple of the boxes that are available. We're talking about 30 minutes of exposure at about 20 inches away. So, you could be at home doing homework or just kind of knitting or relaxing on the couch at home and just have those light boxes within 30 inches, 20 inches, 30 inches, again, for 30-minute periods of time to stimulate the pineal gland and to really alter the different hormonal structures in the brain.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but light really does have an impact. And whether it's going outside and spending a little time just letting sunlight come in or even buying one of these light boxes that you're describing, why is it that it really affects us so deeply?
Well, again, the idea that full spectrum light is very, very different than artificial light. It doesn't have the same broad spectrum approach to, delivering these light waves. And these waves are essentially broken down in different color spectrums. And I was talking earlier about how, the blue spectrum has been discovered as being the one that affects mood and emotion more specifically in the recent research that's out there.
I just heard that. I heard a report that said that if you have a blue light like in your bedroom and the lights are off, that might actually keep you awake at night.
Absolutely true. So they're finding now that we can actually elevate mood with blue spectrum light. Green seems to be the band that really affects us for memory and for concentration and recall. So they're starting to really explore now and research exactly how the various spectrums, the light color spectrums, affect different vectors of the brain in different ways. But right now, it's all about making sure that blue spectrum is fully available, which of course, broad day sunlight has, and these light boxes certainly provide us with.
Well, the other thing that I'm curious about too is not only do we not get outside and get the light into our eyes, but of course sunlight has to do with vitamin D production in the body, and that tends to drop off in people during the wintertime.
Great point. And I think there are three key elements here. Melatonin, which is of course our hibernation trigger in our brain.
I use that to help me sleep.
And use it to help you sleep. And of course, this time of year when we start losing that sunlight, our natural melatonin levels go up. So folks get a little tired sometimes this time of year, more so than they do in the summertime.
And eating more. Is that just in my mind? Because I feel like I go into hibernation mode like a bear.
You're absolutely right, and the research does point that out as well. Not only do we get fatigued this time of year when the light goes down, we get more hungry, so it's sort of that out-of-control appetite can happen for a lot of folks. And serotonin levels, the feel-good hormone, goes down as well. So I think that these different changes of lower D levels, lower serotonin levels, and elevated melatonin levels really affect the way our brain functions and the way our bodies feel.
So supplementation and getting outside is really important.
These are big difference makers. The research points it out. These are available just about anywhere these days.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
If you want more information, you can go to maxhealing.com.